Here. Okay, there we're going. So you can say whatever you'd like, Lon.
Yeah, well, I'm going to welcome all of us to the Iowa Way. For all of you who have contributed and supported the young men that are on this podcast, thank you. That includes the washed up walk-ons and before NIL, and now the young men that we're going to hear from tonight, and Jeremiah, Luke, and Drew. Jazz has joined us, Jazz Patterson, and actually Tori Taylor did ask and call for permission to be gone because there was a leadership meeting. So
he's Hollywood, huh?
Oh yeah, well, anyway.
This guy.
The point is, all of you who will be hearing this, thank you for supporting these young men. As you know, the Iowa Way is a big part of why Iowa continues to be a successful program. We need guys like these young men to invest the time and energy and the years to become the football players that we all get used to seeing. And I will guarantee you that every one of the individuals you'll hear from tonight and in 2 weeks, you will hear from this year. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Tyler, Drake, and Kevin and Grant. Good to have you on board. I think it's been a major upgrade to bring you into the team. So let's do it. Here we go.
Yeah. We pay Grant in candy. He just turned 21. He barely drank before this year. So I want to say a quick thanks too to all the contributors here to the Iowa Way. This is something that the three of us, when we played, would have sure liked to benefit from, make a few bucks and kind of connect with the community. These guys, yeah, well, Luke, probably not, but the other two probably definitely deserve it. And I'm kidding, Luke. Lon said that he would have he'd pay us in like ice cream or something if we came on and did this for him. So here we are. I want to start by going back to something that Luke was talking about before we started the call, and he said that he had yoga today. Was that class yoga, or do you just do yoga by yourself?
That was team yoga. So we
team yoga.
Instructor come in for 4 p.m. and we probably had about like 50 kids there out in the indoor.
Y'all are doing team yoga now?
They got it plush these days, Kluve.
I mean, how soft have we gotten now?
Lon, did you guys have team yoga back in the day?
I mean, goodness.
No. First of all, this is about you guys, but I will tell you that the weight room was under the stadium. We had to go from the field house to the rec building, and there was a whole lot of other stuff that didn't exist, including most of the practice facilities and fields.
So there certainly was no yoga. When did they start this? Like
a few years ago.
So it's been wow, unbelievable. And then you had 50 of y'all out there doing yoga.
Yep.
Who's the goofiest one looking, trying to do some of those poses out there? Like if you look around, who do you just start laughing at?
Well, today specifically, probably like Tori and Drew. Us three are standing next to each other, and like we just look at each other like, I can't believe we're doing this right now.
Tori would be pretty interesting. Jeremiah, there's got to be some lineman that just.
I wasn't there today, but I was there a couple of times last summer. And yeah, sometimes you get the lineman go in the back because we're the least flexible. So it's just we're laughing at each other because we see what we can do, but.
I cannot imagine what that looks like. You guys are deep into, I guess not deep. You guys started summer workouts last Monday.
Yep.
So how are we feeling?
How sore are you?
What was that? Sorry.
How
sore are you?
Not too bad right now. I'd say after the first like 2 or 3 days, I was pretty sore.
They don't make you specialists lift shit anyways.
Oh no, we definitely
lift the same as everybody else.
Yeah, we do.
You lift the same as everybody else.
Are we doing prowlers this year, or what's the GPP?
Hey, Jeremiah, do they lift the same weight as you?
Dude,
okay, weight is different.
Luke lifts more than some of the semis. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Freshman year, he came in and he started lifting. I did not think he was a specialist. But
wow, that's a big compliment.
Yeah, Luke can put up some weight, especially on the squat. I've seen him under the bar on the squat.
Hopefully he can't bench because my record still stands on the board till this day. So,
Buddy's coming for you though.
Is he really?
Yes. He's close.
Who is?
Buddy.
Liam.
Really?
So
Yeah.
how much do I have to pay here to like sabotage this kid?
Well, he was sick when we did test outs.
Oh
That
yeah,
honestly kind of saved you a little bit.
we love it.
Then so next time we go do test outs, which
Well, yeah, you guys have so many COVID years. He'll probably break it in like 6 or
Yeah.
7 years, and then
He's
finally
lost.
graduate.
He's lost
so.
some weight though. So I don't
Really?
think it's the same.
Well, speaking of weight, well, you just said before we clicked record that you put on some weight. What's the body transformation for Drew Stevens, the kicker for the University of Iowa Hawkeyes, look like this offseason?
I mean, this offseason, I'm trying to get to 200, but like
Really?
I
No
want to
wonder
get
you
to
can lift so
200, but I
much.
want to like also lose body fat too. If that makes sense.
Well, of course. What's the difference? What's the change that you specifically are executing to do that? Are you do you have any idea, or you just eat as much as you possibly can?
I don't know. I really just eat whatever food. Like I try to eat as much chicken and like steak, like heavy like foods as possible. And I always, when they first got here, they said you should never be hungry, and I like really took that like to heart. Like I really try to never be like, wow, I'm hungry right now. Like I try to eat before I'm hungry, I guess.
I imagine you eating right now looks a little bit different than you eating in high school.
Yeah, because all the food is here. I don't have to
Free.
go.
Well,
Yeah,
not that it wasn't in high school, but so so if you're trying to be at 200, where do you weigh right now?
Today I was 196,
Okay, and what did you come in at?
167.
Wow. Okay, so you've put 30 pounds on. Okay, good work. Good work,
You feel like that
Jeremiah.
gives you a little bit more leg behind the ball.
Yeah, the crazy part is that we also do body comp testing to see like
Sure.
what percent body fat you have, and that's gone down too.
Has the body comp testing become any more accurate?
I mean, I don't know.
Jeremiah shaking his head.
Depends who's pinching you that day, huh?
So for those that are viewing
Depends
this
on how deep they're pinching, you know?
yeah, for those that are viewing this on the back end, to give you a little visual here on what that looks like. You walk in
It's
on
fat shaming.
a
It's
body.
just take your shirt off and get fat shamed.
You walk in on a body comp day, and there's just 35 guys with their shirts off standing in the weight room, and they're getting pinched with what this little tool called a caliper, which is measuring body fat. And to be honest, the strength coaches don't know what they're doing. They simply don't know what they're doing. And the calipers aren't really that accurate in the first place. And so it's basically this exercise in a little bit of humbleness and humility. And for a guy like Jeremiah, upwards of 300, you know, it's not your best day as lineman in the program, right? But it provides some laughs, and it gives them a number to look back on, see how much progress you made. Again, who knows how accurate that is. Do you guys do that at the beginning of the summer? Have you guys done that recently?
Yeah.
Yeah, we like just did it.
You just did it. Okay. You three are all in the same class, yeah? Or
No.
Luke is a year older.
Yep.
Wait, who's two of you are in the same class? Who?
Well, Luke came in the same year I did, but I have a year more of eligibility.
Right, because
Drew came in.
Okay.
So I think
So me and
Drew
Pitt
have-
are probably the same eligibility.
Okay.
Yeah, me and Drew have the same amount of eligibility.
Again, it's so confusing with the COVID stuff. It's just unbelievable. What for you guys has been the biggest struggle, obstacle, challenge in adjusting to the Division I athlete life? Right, the schedule, those classes. It doesn't have to be necessarily football. I'd love to hear from each one of you individually what that looks like, and if there was anything specifically that was unexpected coming in from high school. I know I was I was nervous. I was so worried like that I wasn't even going to be able to find classes on campus and stuff, you know, little things like that. I remember that coming in freshman year. Do you guys have anything that's been, you know, the biggest challenge or something that you didn't think would be maybe that big of a deal, but like has been hard to adjust to? Luke, anything for you?
For me, I'd say like when you first get here, you're like, really nervous, like you were saying, but like once you're in that building, you like see all these upperclassmen, you see all these older guys, you're like, wow, I'm a little intimidated. But then like after that first year, you start to get like really close with them, and like things become like 10 times easier. And like another thing saying like finding classes. Like at first you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm like, I don't know what building this is, where the room number is, like how to find it. But then you realize that like, oh, my friend has that same issue.
Yeah,
So,
or you
like,
just don't go to class.
I don't know about that. But
That's a
then
joke. That's a joke.
yeah, you realize that everybody's in the same boat as you are. So then you're like, you'll get through it at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. I went to all my classes, so it's totally it's good. Jeremiah, something specific for you? Anything?
Yeah, no, I agree with Luke. The first year is definitely the big adjustment period, and going into your third year is going to look a lot different. But for me, it was like the amount of effort you have to put in, like especially at camp during practice, you have to put in for like every single rep. Because obviously, most of us come from a place where we're all like the guy on campus or whatever.
You're the big dog.
Exactly. You come in, and so I played scout team my first year, and I was taken off my feet for the first time in football. Like it was just complete. Cody Ince, he was playing left guard. I was right tackle, and that was after like 2 weeks of camp. But during camp, I was going up against other younger guys who were in the same boat as me. But then you get to go up against the older guys, and it's like, oh my goodness, how am I even
A little humbling, huh?
Yeah, exactly. You're humbled, I wasn't expecting much going in. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be one of the guys lower on the totem pole. So it was cool, but it was humbling. It was a completely different perspective on football.
It was cool afterwards, but not when you were on your ass looking up at Cody.
Of course, yes. Not in the moment, definitely not in the moment, but yeah.
Drew, for you,
the competition level.
I think like managing my freedom. Like I remember all my high school teachers saying, "Oh, you're not gonna last in college because you can't even do last night's homework."
they told you that?
Yeah,
Wow, you must have been an asshole in high school.
but it's like you get here and I'm expecting like to have outlandish loads of homework and work to do and like that. And I really, because the times where stuff is due is like weekly, and me adjusting to that was like pretty tough because I was like, oh, sick, it's not due till Sunday. And then here we are, Sunday, and I haven't done anything, and I'm just doing it all on Sunday. And then some stuff gets half-assed and some stuff gets done maybe not to my best ability, and then my grades might reflect that. But
so adjusting to that and kind of, because you have so much free time, you can just put it off, right? Like, and it's, yeah. And there is a step up. Like I remember the first time that so we got through camp ends, we come home from the hotel, and these guys will tell you I still don't have any friends. And it's kind of true. I didn't have a lot of friends after that first camp anyway. So it's our first night in Iowa City, Saturday. School starts Monday or whatever. And I walked from Hillcrest downtown, got me some Falbo's pizza. And I just remember feeling like, damn, I'm an adult. Like this is a whole new level of freedom. And there is that. Like I think a lot of guys struggle with that too, right? You guys in the building probably have teammates right now that would come to mind if you had to think of them off the top of your head who have struggled with the integration of being an adult, having free time, managing a workload from school, managing the football workload. And it starts to show. You can see that in the Hawkeye Challenge, reflects a lot in that competition, but just in general with, kind of how people progress through the program. And it's a thing that if you don't figure it out early, your teammates are going to, you guys are in a building full of elite performers, right? Division I football players. You're going to get passed up pretty quick. And for you three, you guys have clearly handled that. I want to go back.
I want to bring you in here, man. What was the biggest adjustment for you coming from Florida?
Maybe not.
No, he has to unmute. Do you have him muted, Tyler?
Oh, he is muted. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was muted. Y'all can hear me now?
Yeah. We got you, Jazz. What was the biggest adjustment coming from Florida up to Iowa?
I would probably say the weather.
I figured that was going to be.
How was that first winter for you?
It was horrible.
Has it gotten any better?
Yeah, I got better since I've been here. I kind of like adjusted to the weather a little bit, but I'm still not there yet.
I'm pretty sure there's never been a Florida or Texas recruit that said that there was something more difficult than the weather to adjust to.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's never been a Florida or Texas guy that's actually stuck around Iowa after they graduated either. They all went straight on back.
Because I know how much better it is other places.
Here we go. North Carolina's so sick, dude.
South.
Okay, South Carolina. I want to go back to Jeremiah talking about getting put on his butt. A little welcome to college moment. Do you remember any other specific moments like that? Drew, Luke, maybe not going to be as funny for you because it's like, you guys, you're not going to have a moment where you guys got like tackled or something like that in practice, but maybe
not a humbling moment, but like I have one.
Give me it.
There's like this one drill. I don't know if you remember it, but where you run on a diagonal to the numbers and then you have to cut up and everybody like tags off on your hip.
Pursuit drill.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
you were the rabbit in pursuit drill.
I was, yes, and
of course you were.
I was told you're just supposed to tag them off on their hip, just a nice little tap, just to make sure that you got them. No, I got tripped from behind, and then I fell on my face, and then all the coaches were like, "Stay on your feet, stay on your feet." I'm like, "All right." So that's how it's gonna be. And
yeah, because if you fall,
Coach
then
Parker's pissed off that you messed up his drill.
Yes. Like guys are screaming at me, and I'm like, I'm technically not even like a freshman in college yet, but no, I'm getting tripped, and then the next rep comes, and then
listening to you tell this story, you were stressed as hell.
Oh,
He's
I was
still stressed about
I'm
it,
still
dude.
stressed. I'm still stressed about it. And the second time I went, and I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna get tripped. So I was like running kind of with my feet and like a little slower too, because I just wanted them to make sure, like, hey, hit my hip, don't clip my feet. And then one guy like runs in front of me, which you're not supposed to do that. And so I stopped a little, and then a guy who was coming from behind me and just like just ran straight into my back. And I'm like,
I'm pretty sure that was Laporta too. That just smoked you.
yeah. And then as he's jumping over, he's like, "Stay on your effing feet, man." And I'm like, okay, 167-pound kicker is running at you, and you're just trying. All right, whatever. And then a third time, I fell again, and I'm like, all right, I just can't.
And at that point, Coach Ferentz said, "Can we get a different rabbit already?" Luke, I know you do cover drills still, right? 2 lines, extend, rip off, run down, don't get juked, right?
Yeah, don't let him get outside of you. That's the biggest thing.
Specifically, don't let him get outside of you. For the long snapper, it is a little different because in reality, during the game, we're dead on and we're kind of playing the field, but same sort of concept. Any moments, any guys, I know specifically in my first camp, you guys wouldn't know who he is, but there's a guy named Damon Powell, or Damon Powell, and he runs the fastest 10, I think, still in history of Iowa football.
It's like a 138 or something like that. Right?
137, I believe. And it was funny because we were actually roommates for a week in camp. He put me on skates so bad. I think my ankles are still on the practice field. In fact, it was the quickest move that's ever been made, I think. And I've never recovered. Has anybody done that to you?
Freshman Tyler was not the most agile either.
Sure. Yeah. There was some body composition changes, as Drew mentioned earlier, for me as well over my 5 years, but
yeah, you just got fatter.
That's not true. Actually, I didn't get fatter.
As I saw it, you got fatter. My eyes must have been lying to me.
There's no way. We were freshman roommates in Hillcrest. You saw me every day. I did not get fatter.
Yeah, and when you were playing Minecraft in 337 every day, you looked like a tub of butter.
I certainly looked like. Yeah, you're right. Anyway, Luke, have you managed to stay away from the juke and the embarrassment, or has anybody got you?
I've definitely gotten a lot better, but like freshman year was a struggle.
Yeah.
The sideline skinny up, that was probably one of the hardest things for me. Like I just couldn't do it. And like I'm going up against wide receivers who have been here for 5 years.
Yeah, that's the thing is for those wondering, this is basically all the guys who are going to be on like punt or punt return team, essentially, kind of the semi, not many linemen, although some linemen do the drill, and these tight ends, linebackers, those kind of running backs, those guys are all kind of chasing a would-be returner, right? So it's going to be a receiver, a DB, and just another drill, really, to humble you. You
Who's
learn
the one guy that if you're about to go up and you're like, shit, I do not want to see that guy being the returner. Who's the one that makes?
I'd probably say Cooper DeJean.
Okay.
No
shocker.
That's a shocker.
Because he will put the starting punt gunners on their feet.
Oh,
Let
God.
alone snapper.
Have you guys pegged as a teammate? What's so magical about him? Is he just a sorcerer or like?
Yeah, one of a kind freak athlete.
He's just built in a factory.
Yeah.
Any words about him, Jeremiah, from the defensive side?
I agree, dude. He's just an all-around athlete. Our president coach Kelvin Bell calls him Nile Kinnick because he can do whatever he wants. Just goes around.
Thing is he doesn't
Wow.
even, like, from the
Getting
naked
called
eye, it doesn't
Kinnick
look
is building.
like that fast versus
Sure,
when,
'cause
like
he-
actually witnessing it in person.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. He's I believe they use sneaky athletic in the NFL. I want to come over to you, Jeremiah. You are in a rotation going into this year of a bunch of dogs. Like the defensive line is deep, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on some of the guys that are kind of in that rotation and who you've been able to learn from and really maybe even model your game after, and who kind of runs that group, who's the energy, who's the juice guy.
Yeah, I think Joe Evans is definitely the juice guy. He's going to be a 6th year. He's going to be playing end.
Yeah, he has kids
but
and
yeah,
a family,
him
I
and-
think, at this point.
What?
He has kids and a family, I'm pretty sure. at
I
this point.
know, right? Yeah. Him, Shanzo, Noah Shannon, and Logan Lee. They pretty much lead the group. They're all they have all their different styles, but obviously Noah Shannon and Logan Lee are the two guys that I learned from most because I'm a D tackle inside guy. And so they've been, coach put me next to Noah in our line room so that I could learn from him like during film and whatnot. And they're good at giving tidbits here and there, and they're really encouraging. But yeah, then Logan Lee I'll learn from as well. I don't sit right next to him, but me and him get along off the field as well. He's just a guy, we have similar morals and whatnot.
He's a lumberjack.
I get along with what?
He's a lumberjack, by the way.
Yeah, yes, he is.
I met him, I shook his hand, and I felt like a little kid.
Yeah, no, he is. Yeah, he's different, that's for sure. But like everybody in the D line gets along really well. It's pretty cool. Like, because coach will do these end of the year evaluations, it's hard to find somebody you can't get along with. But we get along together, which is pretty fun. And then like, obviously, I don't spend as much time with the defensive ends, but when you start practicing, you kind of have that camaraderie already built. And it's kind of cool to see. And he flips us around, so it's not like all first line, all second line that just goes into practice. He switches the levels so that we can play with different guys, which is kind of cool too. But yeah, we get along pretty well.
What's the who's got the biggest rivalry like between guys on the O line, D line? Like, what's the biggest like blocks matchup where people like to get after it?
Ooh, I don't even know if it would be originated from blocks, but I feel like I would say it used to be like Mason. So the guy in my class, Max Llewellyn, it's not the biggest rivalry, but it's something that always comes up. Max Llewellyn, he's a defensive end. And Mason Richmond is our starting tackle. And whenever they do one-on-ones or some type of team, they're always going at it because one of them will start going at the end of the play. And so it's kind of cool to see because they're both really good at both sides of the pass rush. And that just, it started on the scout team when Max was playing scout team and Mason was playing. And so that's kind of continued. That's kind of fun to watch. But Logan Jones is always between him, Wyatt, and Logan Lee, Wyatt Black, that is. They always they kind of go at it during pass rush. But I don't know. It's not like huge, deep-seated rivalries, I'd say. It's kind of just,
Just a little extra love taps at the end of the rep.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't surprise me to hear that started from the scout team.
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
There's many stories of young guys coming in and basically all they're tasked to do is run 200% through the starter's face and just piss them off in any
Just
way.
a great way to piss off a fifth-year
Yep.
guy who's
Yeah.
sore as shit from playing the game 2 days earlier.
The most notable is probably Brady Ross from our time. We've talked about that plenty. Obviously he turned out to be on the other side eventually, and aside from one fumble backwards and trying to blow the entire game, he did pretty good at football as well. Luke, Drew, what does, as you guys started up back last week as a special teams unit, I gotta get my special teams questions in here. What is your guys' sessions look like right now, and what does the rep management look like? Have you guys done any sort of like a ramp look ahead outline from now until the season of how you want to manage those reps? For those that don't know, not so much for Luke, but for Drew and Tori, you can't swing your leg and hit a football at 100%, 100 times a day. Your hip will just explode, along with a few other things. So what does that look like for you guys? And then especially like as an operation, how much are you getting in right now?
For right now, we've gotten like about like twice a week we'll get in. Drew's probably doing a little bit more because he loves kicking.
Oh, good for you, Drew. That's good to hear.
But like I'd say it's a good like 30-minute session where I'll come out to start warming up and Tori will already be warmed up hitting balls by himself, and then I'll warm up with him. We'll probably get like 15 to 20 reps each, and then call it a day. And then the other day we had Drew come out, so he was getting warmed up while we were doing that, and then got some full live ops for the first time since spring ball. So like just kind of getting back in the rhythm.
Yeah. How'd it feel?
Honestly, pretty good. I kind of took like a longer break this year. I took like a good month and like a few weeks off, just to like see how it goes. And like it's always good to be back and like still snapping the same and like getting a good rest period for it.
Turns out you don't forget how to do it, huh?
Yep. You're a little nervous the first time coming back though.
There is a little bit. I remember that people thought I was like nuts. Like my family thought I was like messing up when I went home for that 3.5 week summer break that we had. It was like, why haven't you snapped any footballs? It's like, hey, don't worry. I do it a lot. And when I go back, I'm going to do it a lot. So we're going to be just fine. Did you take a similar break? That's a dumb question. I know Drew didn't take like 5 weeks off kicking.
Well, normally when I go back that summer break, I do kick a lot, but actually I went like 3 weeks where I didn't touch a ball.
Okay. Good.
And whenever I think the final week I was back, I like kicked like once or twice. And then whenever I got back here, this is really he said I kick a little more. Well, because I'm a big person of whenever you're actually at practice, like you're being evaluated. It's not just, hey, this is time where you can practice, like figure things out. Like no matter what people say, like they're looking to see like how good you are and how good you're doing. That's just, I don't know, that's just something I think is. So I take summer just to like go out by myself and like fine tune things so that nobody's watching, so that because people don't want to see like the process, they just want to see what the end result looks like. And so when I go out by myself, I can like figure out stuff, and it might not look good like right then, but
tinker
Just
with
like
stuff.
going out to the driving range,
Yeah.
right? When you're trying to figure out your golf swing.
Yeah.
Plant
foot.
I hear you're a pretty good golfer, Drew.
Oh yes.
Just no doubt. Just I'm great.
What's the
I love
handicap?
Sheesh. I don't know. I don't really.
He's like, I'm a scratch golfer. I don't know.
Do you break 80 pretty frequently? You consistently under 80?
Ooh, no, not that good. Not that good. I
10
don't spend enough
handicap.
time to be that good. But
You're a 10 handicap.
yeah, I like that. That's a good number.
Summer, big time for golf. You guys train in the morning, and then there's a lot of time during that day.
I'd say my main scramble partner's right there on the screen.
Luke?
Oh,
Yeah.
Who do you play against? Who else likes to go out?
So last week we went golfing 5 times, I think.
It is a lot.
Man,
Jesus.
that NIL money's
It's hurting the account.
dog.
It is hurting the account a little bit.
that NIL be hitting, huh?
That
Holy
shit's
smokes.
crazy. 5 rounds a week, dog. Come on.
Where do you guys play?
Think mine usually.
Fun.
Where do you park your Bentleys at? You don't want to get coordinated.
Yeah, they get
What is happening?
they have a
These
driver.
kids can afford 5 rounds a week.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's where we're at these days. Jeremiah, I'm not going to assume or not assume. Do you golf at all in the summer? Do you have any other activities you like to
I
fill
hit
your
the
time with?
range twice.
Okay.
I'm not a big golfer. I'm trying to get into it. I'm a very, very baby golfer. Somebody gave me some clubs.
Okay.
Trying to put them to use.
Sounds like you got to get with these guys and
No, I'd embarrass myself. I even tried to go around with these guys. I couldn't. If you put me on a course right now, I'd probably hit 100 strokes plus. It's that bad. It's really bad.
we could golf together, you and I.
What's the go-to summer activity then for you?
I'm in a summer class right now. I'm trying to work on
Wow.
an internship, but I'm a big video game person, video games and TV. I like alone time, so I'll just
Do you game with anybody else on the team, or what are we playing?
Oh, I just play with myself, man. I'm big.
Rephrase that for me, will you?
Yeah, what game?
The type of games I was playing is like store games. Like I'm a big Batman guy. I'm about to play the new Final Fantasy.
Okay.
Like Elden Ring, I'll do those stuff. But yeah,
Bo would like playing video games with Jeremiah. Sounds like Diablo. And you're in a class and looking for an internship. I mean, we got a scholar over here. I mean, this guy's trying to.
Yeah. No, I'm trying this so that I can. It's an unpaid internship, so it's more like a job shadowing too, because it's a little late in the summer.
Yeah.
People been started for like a month by this time, but trying to do that so that can help leverage me get a better opportunity next summer. Because in Iowa City, it's not a ton. I'm a finance major, so there's not a ton of opportunities in Iowa City. But I'm trying to make the best of it because we got to stay.
What are you looking to go into with finance?
Dude, I'm pretty open right now. Like, corporate finance sounds cool. I could do wealth management, but I'm really, as long as I'm doing numbers and it's not always behind the desk, I'm pretty flexible in that regards.
All right.
Wow. Couldn't be
Jazz,
me.
what about you, man? What's your summers looking like after training?
Just
I'm a adventurous person. I like to travel, shop a lot, work out. I probably like going jet skiing. I go jet skiing a lot.
Jet skiing around here?
Nah, not down here. You talking about around here?
I don't know. It's like it's Monday. You just finished up training. You got nothing going on in the afternoon. What are you doing for the rest of your time?
My homeboys, Cohen, Intriger, Kel, Calera, they all want me to start golfing, but I don't know how to golf. So I usually just probably like watch football highlights, be on Netflix.
My man is just preparing for the season. He's got the 90s classics running. I mean, it's hot, right? You just worked out for 2.5, 3 hours, which is something that maybe I got a question in a second that we'll hit on that. Netflix is a big thing in the summer. Yeah. You guys, we were in college when Game of Thrones was real.
Oh man,
in the prime. And Kevin and I watched
2 weeks together.
We watched the entire first 6 seasons in 12 days. That's 60 episodes, by the way.
Oh my goodness.
So like 70 hours of content in 12 days. Yeah.
That's wild.
What'd you say, Drew?
No way. Like there's
yes, absolutely.
Yes way.
It's the most impressive thing I did in college, including football or school. That was it. It was sad. And that included a weekend where we both went home. It was a 12-day period where Saturday and Sunday. So it was actually in 10 days. It was unbelievable.
That's like literally sun up to sundown.
Correct. Yeah, we
would get home from training. We'd be eating our meal at home, pop on Game of Thrones, and we'd watch that for 7 hours, go back, eat training table at the facility,
Come on.
go back home and watch another 4 or 5 episodes.
It was
And
unbelievable.
we do it again the next day.
It's 70 hours of television.
Yeah. Yeah.
Correct.
10 days.
What's hot right now? What's the show? What are we watching right now? Each of you.
I just finished Peaky Blinders, so that was my go-to show that I've been grinding out.
All right. Respect.
I'm about to start Suits. If you forget what.
Great show. Love
Enjoy
Suits.
I
Jeremiah.
just finished up the Yellowstone prequels.
Yeah.
And then I'm
Okay, I
starting
haven't
that,
gotten to those yet.
Yeah, they're pretty good. And then I'm gonna start this series called Entourage on HBO Max.
This series
Big-
called
This
Entourage.
series
Big fan of
called
Entourage.
Must be a new one. Never heard of
Dude,
Entourage.
I had no idea it existed. Apparently it's
How can
It's outstanding.
It's
how
like,
do you say I was born after 2000 without saying I was born after 2000? This series called Entourage. You guys might have heard of it.
no, I would assume.
That's funny. That's funny, Jeremiah. Those are good. Those are good.
Jazz, what about you?
Yeah, what are we watching?
I actually watch like The Walking Dead. I like a lot of like war, zombie apocalypse type shows.
You and Drake.
And I'm like,
We were really into The Walking Dead there for a little bit, and then we just kind of fell off.
Well, yeah, because they're still making seasons. I mean, they just won't quit with that show.
I'm on the last season right now, season 11.
Jesus, that's commitment.
If you want to see Walking Dead in real life, just go to Albuquerque at night. Just passed through there last night. It's The Walking Dead when the sun goes down.
I'm not gonna go there. I don't even know what that is, to be honest.
It's in New Mexico, so you're not gonna just wind up there. Yeah, Drake. For those, Drake's in a hotel room somewhere in the South right now. I don't know where he's at. He's en route to Nashville as the boys are showing up at tight end U next week. Got that invite from Kittle, so we're trying to hang on to any kind of relevance that we have left after 6 years outside the program.
Let's bring it back to football. What Jazz, we'll start off with you, man. What are you looking to improve on the most going into year 2? Like what are some things you're focused on, try to contribute more on the field?
I'm really working on like my route running. I got pretty good hands, so it's just really my route running. I'm trying to be a valuable asset to the scheme. I'm trying to do everything, a little bit of everything. This has really been like footwork. I'm trying to get my feet quicker and build up my speed.
I would love to hear some of that little jazz out the backfield, little dump pass, take that thing to the house. Let's go.
I managed to get my body weight up. Everything else just falling into place. Yeah,
it tends to happen when you I know that you guys are sitting there. You're like, God damn it, I have to make weight every Monday. Guys are in the locker
twice a week if they're in a bad mood.
Yeah, guys are in the locker room just chugging Powerades. But I promise that body weight, it's got some intent behind it. It's real.
Yeah. You can tell it's a weight gain day because all the trash cans are just full bottles.
Yeah, full. Yeah. Or you got some big guys in the hot tub trying to sweat it off, you know?
Honestly, it's the worst in the summer because after that 40-minute workout, you probably lost a couple pounds in the
it's hard to gauge.
Yeah. You better be right on your number because you're gonna lose 2 pounds and be outside.
You guys were around for a Hawkeye Championship, right?
Oh yeah.
It was like founded before us, I think.
Yeah, Hawkeye Championship's been around since I think like the early 2000s.
And you guys would lose points for
missing weight. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Did you
lose
points
a
in the summer?
week and then your entire team hates you?
Yeah.
Lose points for it in the summer.
Oh yeah.
Because we don't do that anymore.
What?
Yeah. They weigh us every day, but we don't lose points if you're off.
Soft as baby shit. It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
No
what is this
accountability.
program going to?
6-6 this year, guaranteed. I mean,
accountability at 0.
Unreal. What is I guess I only Jazz got to answer. Other three, something specific that you're working on to improve your individual game. Luke.
I would say for me this year is probably helping out Tori the most with holding, and making him not have to spin the ball when he catches it.
That's a good idea.
Being able to like dial that into like where we don't go out there and not have to worry about it at all.
Yeah.
Because I know Tori's mind is on punting. So like if he has to worry about holding, then that can always bring him in other places. So like if it's one less thing that he has to worry about, I'm gonna make sure that he's not worrying about that at all.
Yeah, my kickers would have loved you. The Drew Stevens, what are you thinking?
Well, last year I feel like my goal was like weight gain, but now I feel like I have enough distance behind my kicks at least as far as Coach Ferris will let us kick a field goal. But
he's still touchy on that, huh?
Yeah.
Guy just doesn't want to kick field goals.
Well, I say this year, honestly, getting more consistent, really.
How do you do that?
Why would you want to kick a field goal where you can pin him at the one with Tori and then you just get a safety, right?
And
Two
then
is almost as good as 3.
Jeremiah gets the sack in the end zone, and it's is the Jaleel, by the way, Jeremiah, is the Jaleel sack dance from that Michigan game on repeat in the D-line room, or
I have never seen that dance, man.
You're
never
okay.
seen it before.
Okay, so you're
You
gonna have
know
to go.
who Jaleel is, Jeremiah?
No, I haven't seen the dance.
Okay.
But you know who Jaleel is.
Yeah.
Okay, so go in
He's an all-timer.
tomorrow. Go to the film room. Pull up the folder, 2016, Michigan, and go to right before. Was it right before half?
Right before halftime.
Right before halftime, we pin him on the 1. And the next play, I think someone completely just forgets to block Jaleel, and it sways the entire game.
It's a guy you probably want to block.
Certainly a guy you want to block. Jaleel. Jeremiah, what's something you're working on specifically?
Yeah, being more consistent for sure, and then like formation recognition and pass rush. Those are the 2 biggest things that will allow me to play faster. But yeah, those 2 things are key for me right now.
Like it. What is, I wrote this question down. What is, in your opinion, the most, something that's really misunderstood or something that people don't get outside of the program, maybe even your family, about being a Division I football player? What's the first thing that comes to mind? Something that people just don't understand. Maybe it's your classmates, somebody on campus, something that people just don't fully have a grasp of when you talk to them or they ask you questions about being on the team. Anything stick out?
Good question.
Can I answer?
Yeah, go, Jess.
Shoot, man.
I could say the most that they don't understand that it's a process. They just like when I came in, like it was just expecting me just be the man. But I'm going through a development stage, and I feel like they don't understand that because they're not the ones who waking up 5:30 in the morning every day for workouts. They not lifting every day. They don't got school going on. So I think it's really the process that they don't get.
That's real.
Absolutely,
That's real.
man.
Because it's really, trust me, Drake, and Kevin get to do it now. It's really easy to just sit back and watch you guys on Saturday and just expect you guys to do well, right? And then there's just, that whole process that Jazz is talking about. Like, oh yeah, you guys right now in the summer are grinding for like 1% a day, just trying to find something to get better at. Anything you guys can think of?
I would just say like the amount of time that you spend doing like your craft or like lifting or like even like being away from home. Like a whole bunch of my friends are like home all the time and doing all this, and then you're like, yeah, I'm home 6 weeks out of the year, if that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's a big misunderstanding with friends and everybody else. They're like, oh, I get to see you then. And no, you don't. I won't be home. Like it's not happening.
Yeah. Do you guys know what
Iowa football is not for Joe College.
It's a sacrifice for sure.
Do you guys know what Kara hours are? By the looks on your faces, you don't. And that is probably a good thing.
Did they just get rid of those?
So-
I know like no one's paying attention to them anyway.
So
but
it was an acronym that when we played, back when we played 2013, it was like one of the first things we heard about. Like you sit down at the Jardine Center, all the new freshmen, not just football, but volleyball, baseball, everybody's in there. And they're like, here's your expectations as an athlete here. Here's the limitations. And I don't know what it stood for, but it was CARA hours. And it was a joke amongst the team. Because you're only supposed to be limited to 20 hours per week. And that was like 20 hours of like, what was it, Kev? Mandatory stuff that football could like make you schedule, essentially. And we quickly figured out that you basically hit the care hours on like Wednesday. And then it's like Thursday. And then Thursday and Friday come and you're like, okay, well, those things aren't real then. No one's policing that because I spent 36 hours at the facility this week. So yeah, that's it's a full-time job. You guys probably feel that a lot. Summer's a little easier. You guys got it easy right now. Even though those workouts, especially as it starts to grind on here, is they run upwards of like 3 hours, especially when you start getting the skills and drills in there. I'm not sure when those start.
Depends what group you're in too, because a lot of groups or some groups aren't very like veteran guys, and
Yeah.
they have to restart constantly.
Oh, you're talking like if they're missing reps and stuff?
Yeah, like
Oh yeah, if you're in the,
or
I
you're
mean,
doing or one guy's doing it wrong and they send the whole line back.
oh yeah. In fact, that gives me, I mean,
Did you guys ever have to start the warm up all the way over back to everyone get back on the rollers? We are rolling out and starting this whole damn thing over again.
I've heard about that.
that's when you know
Well, it happened. I'll tell you.
it happened.
What about restarting practice? Y'all ever get through several periods and then get practice restarted from walkthrough?
Also happened.
Y'all ever had the head man just
Nah,
say,
man, these guys are so much better than us. They didn't ever have to have this happen to us.
No. Do it again.
no, forget the do it again. It's drop everything and we're doing hundreds.
Yeah, we've done that too.
He did threaten that. He did threaten that one time. We get into a lot of fights, and so he threatened that.
Who's starting the most fights on the team? Who's
like an individual?
I think seven's gotta
go
be
with a
up there.
position group.
Position group?
Yeah, who's the
Linebacker.
guilty parties?
the linebackers.
I'll say linebackers probably. Yeah.
They're trying to prove themselves, dude. Everybody left, and now these dudes are like, "Hey, I gotta show how big my meat is."
It's because of this guy right here, Goat Wallace.
Jeremiah, if the fight breaks out,
Okay.
the fight breaks out in the middle of the field, and you're on the sideline, are you the guy that runs in there, or are you just chilling?
No, I'm not.
He's on the side
I'm
hanging.
not running in there, dude. Because 300 pounds roll on the ground is a recipe for disaster, in my opinion. But
Hey, Luke and
Rick?
Drew, are you running in on the fight or are you staying on the side?
No.
Sit on the sideline. I think Coach Woods would tackle me if he saw me running out there.
And you don't want that guy to tackle you either.
No,
Coach Woods.
You
I don't know.
think- you think Woods
I
can
feel
still
like
play?
sometimes because they say defense to like not tackle the ground, and then sometimes the offensive guys will like lower their shoulder. And
Yeah,
then,
it's bullshit.
yeah. So like, is the defense supposed to just sit there and take it, and then their coach yells at them for sitting there and taking it?
Right. So here's here's the dilemma, right? So both sides, the coaches don't want them to look like the soft side, right? And
Yeah.
so, but they're setting this limitation that has to be managed, not just side to side, but guy to guy. As you got Josie Jewell in there, and he's just eating people alive on the offense, then the offensive side of the ball gets pissed because Josie's making them look bad. So then they have to step it up. And now this 70% line that has been arbitrarily decided upon, like, hey, don't bring guys to the ground. Don't go 100%. Everybody's still going 100%. You just have to learn how to do it. The way that Kevin and Drake have described it to me, I'm sure Jeremiah has figured out during team periods, is like, you have to learn to go 100%, but still play the game of practice. There's just a way that, yeah, I mean, there's no other way to describe it. You just gotta, you gotta learn to fit up and make it look like you're going 100% without actually tearing a guy apart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good way to put it.
As we wrap this thing up here,
I got one more question before
yeah.
before we wrap it up here. So Lon obviously started this NIL called the Iowa Way to help reward guys that are maybe not full-time starters or sorry specialists, not in a marquee position. But obviously add a lot of value to the team. So I just want to hear from each of you. What does the Iowa Way mean to you?
For me, I would say the Iowa Way means like you're a hard-nosed individual that's going to put your head down, go to work, and get things done without expecting to get like the pat on your back. Like you're the one kid that nobody really thinks of, but you're like every day putting it in, the work in and out, and making sure that you are not slacking off, not getting out the easy way, and always putting yourself through these challenges to make sure that you become the person you want to be.
Glad you feel that way, Luke, because no one's ever going to pat you on the back. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, I think it goes back to what Jazz said. You got to understand the process, because some guys come in here, they expect everything to go well right off the bat, and that's just not the case for most people. So you got to realize that you got to put in the work for a long amount of time, and hopefully you get what you want out of it. But you got to realize that it's not going to come all super easy.
Love it. Jazz, Drew, anything to add?
Like, did you ever remember a time when all the freshmen would like just get there?
Yeah.
And they would all, I don't know.
Yeah, we
I know
used to
I
make
did
fun of
this,
them
so I'm
every
guilty,
single
but
year. It was awesome.
they all go into the indoor like as soon as they get there. You'd see like a bunch of them just out there on their own doing
They're
nothing.
sheep.
Like it's a long race, and they're just already in there like every day, like
Yeah.
working and like I don't know.
It's just a memory from Drew. It's yeah, I mean it is like Jeremiah said, it's a process. I think so too. Jazz, anything to add there?
I was basically gonna say what Luke and Jeremiah said. I just feel like it's the unknown guys that's putting in a lot of work, but they're barely like noticed for it. That's basically what I was gonna say. They basically hit it on the head.
You get pretty quickly realize that you're gonna have to enjoy it, at least somewhat, the journey. And that I think from three guys who ran the whole race front to back in the program, you guys have no idea the idea of the Iowa Way and what it will do for you after you're done playing. Right now, it's benefiting you guys on the field, right? Doing all the things, working hard, work ethic, dedication, time in the film room, all this stuff. It is set up to directly benefit you into the field. But obviously you guys know Coach Ferentz and all the other coaches on that staff run that culture in a way that it will benefit you, I guess, in a way where you could make a podcast someday. In my case, that doesn't really, it's not a great example, but I promise it will pay off for you in your adult lives. I mean,
Kevin, for instance, he's running for president in 2024.
Yeah, Kevin's going to be the president, and Drake.
No, I'm not old enough in 2024, 2032.
Oh. Okay. Well, he is like the CEO of Stryker Medical Sales Company, so that's pretty good. But anyway, that is it is cool to hop on here with you guys. Three guys who clearly have and Jazz, four guys who have clearly embraced that journey. Four guys who, like Lon said, maybe you don't hear from a lot. Hopefully you never hear from Luke. That's ideal at the long snapper position, but hopefully Drew's 100% this year. Jeremiah's getting sacks and Jazz is scoring touchdowns, and four guys that are valued within the program. So appreciate you guys. Lon, appreciate you guys letting us do this, and excited to do it in a couple of weeks to hear more from Jazz, and then we'll get Tori, that jokester, on here as well.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a great time.
We will.
Yeah, we're gonna crack up.
That was great, you guys. When you get that to me,